welcome back to Go Get That Rose. I'm your host, Sarah. So excited to talk about the past 2 episodes of Bachelor in Paradise, week 5, I believe. With me to discuss all the craziness, of course, is my co-host, J Wade.
Hey, everybody. Man, I love doing this show. So excited to be back.
So excited to be back. What did you think of these 2 episodes?
It was a mixture of a little bit boring, but when it was not boring, it was like off the chain. So it's one of those weeks. Some stale times, but man, woo! When it blew up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we had some high highs and some low lows in these
episodes.
Yeah. They were kind of crazy. Before we just jump into all the drama, I guess, that happened, I just want to say congratulations to Kevin and Astrid, my personal favorite couple from last season of Bachelor in Paradise. They got engaged about a week ago, and they just announced it all over their Instagrams yesterday, I believe. I feel like every episode I'm announcing like, oh, congrats to this couple that got engaged or this couple that got married. So I guess this I guess this process really does work. And just congrats. They were my favorite people. So I'm like super excited to see that it actually worked out for them.
Yeah, that's cool. Good luck to them.
Good luck to them. Awesome people. And we'll see if any of these couples actually get engaged or make it. We'll see.
Yeah.
But we can just jump off. We saw the end of last week's episode with Angela arriving, and we can just jump into all of the Angela, Clay, and Nicole drama. I personally hated every second of this drama. It's so annoying.
Yes.
I am on Angela's side. I don't know if that's like the unpopular side to be on. I don't really think she did anything wrong. I'm really annoyed that like Nicole and Tayshia were just like really shit talking on her, and just Nicole was like tearing her down. And like I get it, like if you see like your man's ex show up, like you'll just be like, oh, she's not that cute. Like I've done that. I do that all the time. Like, oh, she's ugly. But like
I've never done that in my life, Sarah. I mean, 1, I'm a man. But 2, I have never once in my life done that. Like when an ex is an ex, they're an ex. And if they're dating someone else, I really could not care less.
So that's my thing, is that Clay was like, I understand from Nicole's perspective, because like, I think Angela's beautiful. And I think Nicole definitely feels, I mean, Nicole's beautiful too, but I definitely feel like she feels maybe not threatened. I don't know. She realized that she's beautiful or whatever, but like I think Clay was not handling the situation well at all, and he was seriously pissing me off when he was like talking about like, oh, she shouldn't be here, I didn't sign up for this to see her date. And he kept saying like my ex, like he wouldn't even call her like Angela. Like he was just like my ex, I didn't come here to see my ex. Like, dude, like get over yourself. Like,
oh well, get over her too. He's clearly not over her.
No, clearly not. And like every conversation, like it didn't seem like she was there like with a plan or like throwing like the dates in his face, like maybe off camera, but like we never saw any of that. You know what I mean? Like she wasn't like, bye, going on another date.
Yeah, she's not talking about him. She's not sitting, and it's everybody. It's like he made the rounds to everybody on the beach talking about
like,
it, you know?
And Blake was going up to everyone talking about his situations. Like, oh, my ex. Like, dude, like, come on. Like, it's so obvious that like you're not over her, and like when he like sat down and started talking to her, like I think she just handled herself. You could tell that she was so over the conversation, and I mean I think it was a good idea for them to kind of talk and clear the air again. But it was just funny because he was like, "You just want to be a mom, and you just want to, and all this stuff," and I don't know. She was like, yeah, like, what's wrong with that? And he's like, you didn't want to go to the gym with me. Like, it was just so, like...
Oh, I know. That was like, what the hell are you talking... You know, Him, like, if that's really... You're in this moment, and you're talking, like really talking for the first time since you broke up after a lengthy, intense relationship, and that's the thing that's your go-to complaint that you have is that she didn't want to go to the gym. Yeah, and that was bad enough, but then when she's like, I don't want to go for 4 hours, I'm like, oh my gosh,
I feel you, honey. I feel you.
Yeah, I would, dude. I don't want to go to the gym at all for myself, let alone why the hell am I going to go for somebody else for 5 minutes, let alone 4 hours? Come on.
Yeah, it was super frustrating, and I don't know. I guess that's really all I have to say. I'm just over it.
Oh, Angela, I got a little bit more to say about all them. Oh,
go
dude,
ahead.
Clay. Oh, okay.
We're on the same page for one.
Yeah. Yes. Clay, okay, he keeps talking about why would she be here? Why would she be here?
Yes.
Well, it's like, well, why are you here?
Yeah.
And then that's probably at least close to your answer, okay? But then, and while I said that, I will say that not obviously because she's not made it, she's not hinted at this or anything, but I just say obviously because it's like, it just, to me, it's an obvious assumption that at least part of the reason that she went there was to kind of mess with him a little bit and not mess with him, like interact with him and mess with him, but just simply by being there. And it's working because he can't stop complaining about her dating other guys in front of him and all. That's the main, that right there. That if there's any doubt in anyone's mind that he is over her, that's it right there. Because if he was over her, he would not care if or who dated her or, it's like, so basically in his mind, it's okay for him to date somebody in front of her, but not for, and he's the one who dumped her. And then she brings up, and like you said, him being like, about, well, you just wanted to be a mother, blah, blah, blah. Okay. He said that in a way that was like, that was a negative in the pro and con column. He threw that in the con column, but then she's like, the day before you broke up with me, you asked me what I thought our babies would look like. And I'm like, dude, you have no room to say some of the stuff you're saying here. And I don't know. It's just, if it's obvious to us watching it on TV and we're only getting minutes of it at a time, it has to be extremely obvious to everyone there, including Nicole, that he is not over her.
No, not. And I wonder if that's why Nicole's like so aggressive towards Angela, because like, I don't know, like she is probably like feeling things coming from Clay, but it just seems like they're both of them, like Nicole and Clay, are both very immature in their relationships, and don't have a lot of experience with them because they're just like freaking out. And it's like, you need to trust your partner, like, because Nicole kept blaming Angela, like whatever plans, whatever tricks she has, like you need to trust your partner and not, if you guys were really that secure in your relationship, it wouldn't matter that his ex showed up. Like, you'd be kind of like pissed off a little bit. Like, there is like some kind of like insecurity a little bit.
Yeah.
But it would last like an hour. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't be freaking out like, oh, now she's dating my friends. Like, you don't know half these people on the beach. Like, don't act like you guys are best friends. Like,
yeah. And then, like you just said, with Nicole getting a little aggressive in confronting Angela, it's like, wait a minute. Wasn't it just a couple weeks ago Nicole was messing around with this other dude?
Two guys.
Yeah, it's like these people are just
it's so like double standard, or like
man.
Yeah. I would say double standard.
It is. It's double standard and hypocritical. It's just like oh man. And Clay isn't even like making out with her or going on a date with her, or he's not doing any of that shit, which their situation is a little different because he and Angela were, they were in a long-term relationship. So it is a little bit different, but
would you consider 8 months a long-term relationship?
Personally, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm going off of comparison. So I just, so yeah. For me, yes, 8 months is a long time.
I mean, I got married at 10 months of dating, so I can't really say anything, but yeah.
Did you meet on The Bachelor?
No, but we got engaged at 3 months of dating, so I really can't say anything.
Wow. Hey, that's cool though.
So I love The Bachelor. I completely stand. No, just kidding.
Yep. But no, it's just that Clay's not over her, and he's not handling it well, and then Nicole is being hypocritical with her treatment of it all too, considering what she was doing. So,
well, when I forgot it was this episode, or last night's, oh my goodness, sorry, I forgot it was Monday's episode when Nicole sat down with Angela, and right off the bat was like, Clay's my man, so I need you to back off. We're dating. I was like, whoa,
wow.
girl, like, whoa, like, I'm all for you, like, yeah, kind of not assert your dominance, but like be up front, like talk to her, but don't like come off and be like, he's my man, back off. Like, I would be like,
well, maybe she really is into confrontation, because she said she was.
That's true.
At first she was, because she wanted Clay and Christian to fight over her. Then she wasn't, because Christian got a little too aggressive. And then so then now all of a sudden it's okay for her to be shitty. You know what I'm saying? It's I don't get it, man. But I mean I get it, as far as we're all human beings and we can understand why people do the things they do. But I mean,
all heightened up.
Yeah, when you break it down, it's like that makes no sense.
Yeah. Well, Angela did go on 2 dates. She took Mike on a date, which didn't seem like they had any chemistry, but whatever. Poor Mike.
Yawn fast.
And then she didn't take, and then a new guy, Chase, who I have no idea who this is. He's before my time, so I was like, okay, cool. Comes in and is like, Angela, let's go. Me and you, we hit it off at the wedding, and they go off, and apparently they have something good going on. So good for them. Yeah, it looks like that's the end of their drama. But some other drama that really drove me up a wall was JPJ, Derek, Tayshia, a little bit of Haley in there. Go ahead. Start us off.
Well, now, JPJ used to be my hands-down favorite.
Mine too. I'm out.
He's not coming off too well. And we're talking in the content in the show. Like in real life, I think he'd be a blast to hang out with and shit.
But I'd be like, dude, you're an idiot. Like, you do not know how to date women. Like,
you need to calm down and think a little bit before you just fly off the handle,
Like, I'm in love with Tayshia. I love her. Like, you had like 2 conversations with her. Like, calm down. Like,
yeah. And well, it was Haley confronted JPJ about his feelings for Tayshia, and she goes all in at the bar. I mean, there's people sitting around, and she let him have it, rightfully so. Yeah, rightfully so. Very good for her. That was awesome. And he came off like such a jerk during that, I have to say.
He said to her, before she started laying into him at the bar when she like confronted him the first time, and he was like, you're a big girl, you can figure it out. Like, you can figure out like where you're going to give your rose. I was like, excuse me? Like,
what
don't ever say that to a woman. Like, don't ever say to a woman, like, she's older than you, first of all. Like,
man.
She's been in this franchise longer than you. I was like, oh, no. Like,
oh, yeah, he's not very good with communicating sometimes. Sometimes he's good at communicating. He's just really fun, laid back.
But communicating at all.
Not even like in fun mode. Like, not serious at all fun mode, you don't think?
Keep saying like, oh my god, he's so smart. Like he comes off with this like.
Oh, he's not smart. No, well, I don't.
He's not. I haven't seen him smart
JPJ.
at all. Yeah, sorry. I know you're listening to this, but
well, when he's telling Derek, "Do not insult my intelligence." I mean, no offense, but like I couldn't contain my shit, dude.
But I just like nope. I'm like, dude, like, do you know any other word? Or when he's like trying to talk to Tayshia on the bed, and then he starts like sobbing or whatever, and no words are coming out. I'm like, dude, like what? Like I don't know if he is trying to like think his words out and like not just word vomit, but I'm like, dude, like say something, like get a full sentence out. Like people are saying you're really smart. Like show America. Like change your image.
And while I've got while they're at the bar there, Demi was making the greatest faces behind Haley's back, or behind JP's back.
JPJ, yeah.
And I will say that was funny, but I will continue. I love Demi's personality. I think she's amazingly great, but I will continue to call her out each and every week that she just keeps commentating on other people's relationships, and this time it was commentating about others using people. And she is in my opinion, she is in no position to say anything about anyone else's relationships.
Oh, that's not true. Yeah.
What's that?
I was gonna say I don't really think she was using Derek, but like people.
Well, no, but I mean I don't think she was using him either. But the fact is, she had two people that she was juggling between, and that's close enough to using. To in my mind, that's close enough for me to say. Not only do I think she doesn't have room to commentate on anyone else's relationships there, but especially her saying something about people using others or, being involved with multiple people at the same time. It's like, dude, you have no room to talk.
Yeah.
Just sit there, make your dumb little faces, because that is solid gold. But
yeah, but at the same time, JPJ wasn't making any sense, so I would.
Oh, he wasn't.
I don't care who was making the faces. Like it was just kind of like, what are you saying right now? Like
yeah, and then to kind of get Haley out of this, because Haley ended up exiting the JPJ Tayshia drama, so she's in the future. I think it's pretty safe. She's not going to be involved in none of that crap no more.
Oh no, she's what Luke S or whatever his name is now.
Yeah.
So.
Bye. And she was talking to Blake, and she's like, it was great because she goes, I wrote this quote down. She goes, "Why do men think they can manipulate women?" And just kept going along those lines. Yeah, and his facial expressions when she's saying that was like he knew. You know what I mean? Like he was thinking what we were thinking.
Why is he still talking to me right now?
Well, no, not that, but like everything she's saying was could apply to him.
Yeah.
And he knew it. He's like, man, is she? I think a couple times he was kind of wondering if she was referring to him as well as JPJ. But that was just great.
I have had a complete turnaround on Blake. He is cracking. No, he's still a terrible person, but he is cracking me up. Like the editing and stuff is so funny. Like when he comes down, like, I mean, spoiler, like Derek left or whatever, but on last night's episode when he comes down and everyone's like upset and he's like, what's going on? And everyone's like, Derek left, and he's like, what?
Yeah.
It's just so funny.
Like, where was he? That's what I want to know. Where was he and what was he doing at that moment that he didn't know what was up?
Yeah, it's so everyone was there. Like, he made an announcement to everyone but Blake. And I just think that's so funny. Or, like, my other favorite moment was, like, I don't know, they were, like, cutting to all the couples again, like, making out and stuff, and then it cuts to Blake, and he's just sitting at the table by himself.
I swear, it looked just like me when I used to go to high school parties, sitting in the corner by myself, like, man, why don't any of the girls dig me? It just reminded me of that so much. It's so funny. He is funny, yes, absolutely.
He just cracks me up. He's just so unaware. I'm just like, oh, poor Blake. But we had the like blowout part 3 between Derek and JPJ, and I just wanted to punch JPJ in the face.
I did too, man. I like you. I want to hang with you, dude, but come on, man.
It's not okay to like laugh. Like, you're a grown man. I mean,
you're
24. I want to call you a grown man, I guess. But like, you're 24. Like, handle yourself better. Like, stop laughing at this guy when like he's trying to confront you. Like, you're making serious accusations, like super serious accusations.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to talk to you, and you're just laughing and cracking up and then refusing to talk to him. And then he's like, I don't regret anything I ever said or anything I like did or said to him. And it's like, like, dude, like, you probably will. Like,
I hope he does. I hope that, like, I hope he's sitting, that he's sitting around and he's watching these episodes. And I hope maybe
he does.
Yeah, and maybe it's with friends, like actual, legit, real life, good friends of his. And I hope, 1, he sees it on his own and is embarrassed. And 2, I hope his friends in a very polite and friendly way tell him, dude, like, man, that wasn't cool.
Yeah. Well, even like the one thing, like, I forgot, like, he said in one of his like interviews, he said like Derek is a creep or whatever, and he said, I don't really have anything to back that up, but I just have a feeling.
A fact. Yeah, he goes, and that's a fact. And I don't have anything to back that up, but I know it's a fact.
Yeah, he's like, I have a feeling about this, and that means it's a fact. And I was like, oh my God, like, oh my God, this guy is an idiot. like he's fun, he's great entertainment. I'm sure he'd be someone like you go out and have drinks with or hang out and go to the beach or whatever. Like, that'd be really fun. But like, relationship wise, like and that's why I'm so frustrated with Tayshia, where I'm just like, girl, like, this guy is not, like, Tayshia's been divorced. Like, he is not ready.
Oh, she has been?
Yes.
What the
She's been divorced. Like,
what the hell?
And she's like 20 or late 20s, early 30s. I don't really remember. But that's where I'm like, why are you dating this guy or going after JPJ? And like, she claims that he didn't have any influence on sending Derek home.
Yeah, bull.
Yeah, that's bull crap. Like,
because if JPJ hadn't been pulling all this crap, then Tayshia and Derek would be hanging out still.
I also don't know where she was like, I just can't see it between us. Like, kind of saying that he was coming after her. Like, that's how I took it, where she was like, oh, Derek, like, you coming after me. Oh. But it
was all her.
Like,
from the start, it was all her.
Hard. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she pushed JPJ toward other women so that she could go for Derek.
Exactly. And then he comes back, or Derek's like, I think I'm starting to really like you and stuff like that. And she's like, oh, I just can't see it. And like, you went after him. What are you talking about? What do you mean you can't see it? Like,
she's confusing. She's absolutely gorgeous. But she's confusing.
Beautiful. I also don't know she knows what she wants. Like, obviously.
And hey, while we're talking about JPJ and all this real quick, let's bring something up. Did you listen to Collider Live today yet?
I did not get a chance.
Okay. Sara and I, we co-host an after show for another podcast called Collider Live. The host, Christian Harloff, is friends with Jared and Ashley Haben. And Jared Haben was on Collider Live today, and it was good. It was fun. I love that guy. He's a fun, down-to-earth guy. But they asked him about the JPJ Derek blow-up at the wedding because he and Ashley were at the wedding.
Yes.
And he said that it went down pretty much exactly how it came off on TV.
Wow.
He said that he was standing there talking to Derek and with other people, but he was there talking to Derek when JPJ just came up out of nowhere and kind of pulled him aside, not very far aside, and just tore into him. And Jared said it was pretty much exactly how it was on TV, and it was loud, it was uncomfortable. Derek was completely blindsided. Like, as far as I still believe that Derek knew that Tayshia and John had something going on. But as far as he wasn't expecting JPJ to call him out like that, you know. But I just wanted to bring that up while we were kind of talking about them still, because Derek did go home. But yeah, Jared was on Collider Live today and talked a little bit about that, and it was.
Wow.
Yeah, he said it was like it was on TV. So, and real quick, he also got a little in depth about the wedding details, if you want me to say.
Oh yes.
He was saying that was Chris and Crystal, correct? Who got married? All right, Chris and Crystal, they could invite 30 people.
Yes,
and that's that was their friends and their family, whoever they wanted, 30 people. Anyone from Bachelor...
30 people together or each?
Total.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And then anybody else that went was like, that were Bachelor people did not count under that 30 people umbrella.
Oh, okay.
And he had also... He talked a little bit about... Oh, that one just flew out of my head. Hey, it happens, people.
You're fine.
Well, I just can't get over the JPJ at that wedding. The more I think about it and talking about that wedding, the more I think about it, TV show wedding or not, you know, and
super inappropriate.
Yes, you know, what he did was disrespectful, period. But like in that setting was just like, the more I think about it, the more I cringe. And TV wedding or not, I feel bad for the bride and groom.
Actual wedding, like that's it's like it's their actual wedding. Like that's at least like take them outside. Like if you're gonna do it, like
but he got a little more in depth about it. I can't remember, but if anybody out there wants to listen to it, it's today, September 4th's Collider Live on Collider Live channel. Jared Haben was on there on the show, and it was pretty good talk. But and you know, we were talking about the Tayshia just. You know, she broke it off with Derek, and he was definitely shocked. I was shocked.
I was like, excuse me?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I think everyone would have figured JPJ would have been the one she would have broke it off with.
Well, I was like, oh, well, because she kept saying, like, that doesn't mean I'm going to JPJ. Like, that doesn't mean anything. So I was like, okay, like, she's just going to end it with both of them. Like, I was totally cold. And then I was pissed off when she didn't. End it with JPJ.
What do you think? Can you put yourself in her position? What do you think it is about JPJ that she just is really into right now?
He's young and goofy, and like he is attractive, and he's probably different than any guy she ever talked to or dated before. So that's probably intriguing. And she's probably, honestly, probably at this point, they're at like a week and a half left. She's probably like, no one else is going to really come down. Like, I didn't really feel it with Derek. Like, let me just have fun with JPJ. I definitely do not think she, like, sees a husband out of him, because in one breath she's saying like, I don't see him as a husband, and then the next breath she's like, I'm gonna spend more time getting to know him. I'm like, girl, like, make up your mind.
I'm just waiting to see if someone else comes down the stairs and she pulls her stuff again.
I don't know if there's anyone left.
There's only 3 weeks left.
No, I think there's only 1 week left.
No, there were 7 weeks total, and this was week 4, wasn't it? Or was this week 5? All right, then there's 2 weeks left.
2 weeks left, I think. So we'll see.
Well, next week, it sounds like, I don't know the format, because this is my first experience with Bachelor in Paradise.
I'm pretty sure next week is like the end, and then the week after that, that's what people are saying that I'm like seeing all over. And then after that is the reunion show, like the next week. But you know, we never know. You never know.
Yeah.
But now is a great time before we move on, talk about
Oh, wait. I'm so sorry. JPJ.
Never mind.
JPJ caught a fish with his bare hands.
Oh my God, so stupid.
I forgot to mention that. That is worth mentioning because that was just funny as hell. I'm like, what is he doing? I don't know. I don't know. But JPJ caught a freaking fish with his bare hands in the ocean. That was awesome.
Too much for me. Like, I just can't anymore. I'm like, he was fun and like cute.
Who's your favorite guy on there? Who's your favorite guy on Bachelor in Paradise this season?
Well, it was Mike, but he left. So
okay. Hey, dude, the most awesome thing. Mike caught a fish with his bare hands, dude. It was awesome.
Okay, then I'd be interested. I'd be like, "Whoa, Mike! Really?
Exactly.
Like, what nature phenomenon is this? Like, that's incredible."
But anyway, I just had to bring that up because that was awesome.
No, you're fine. Anything else on that whole drama?
I don't know about you, but I've only got 3 other notes before the vagina tail party started, which is
what?
Yeah, that's never the cocktail party when the guys have the roses, vagina tail party for the ladies. I just had 3 quick things that I'd written down before that were really but Dylan and Hannah are enjoying their time very, very much.
We saw them basically have sex.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Like, okay.
Chris very politely asked Katie to have sex with him, which was great.
He did?
Well, he very politely asked her to take it to the next level.
I thought he meant to be like his girlfriend.
No, because after that is when he asked her to be his girlfriend.
And then were they the people that someone asked the guy, like, are you guys going to go to the boom boom room or whatever? And he said no. And then someone asked the girl and she said, I think we're going to the room tonight or something like that. That
was not them. That was not them. But I was going to ask you about that. But really quick, Blake realized that Christina was the one, and that just cracked me up. And that's all there is to say about that because it's Blake. But
oh no, we can come back to that because I have a lot to say.
Yeah, well, it gets going here after they have the party in the ceremony.
My God.
But I can't remember who that was about the boom boom room. What is the boom boom room?
Okay, so what I had no idea until listening to another podcast. It's basically like that's the private getaway for them where they can like go and have sex and stuff, but there's still a camera in there. So it's just like I think it's like a queen or a king, I don't know what kind of bed, but bigger than the twin bed that all the people have separate. And I guess it's where like couples can go and they can be intimate.
They better have AC in there.
Anyway,
because they don't have it. The only place they have AC is in the little cabanas on the beach. They don't have AC in their rooms where they stay, anything. And a lot of that was because I don't know. I was watching a video about it, and they were saying basically how they don't want them to like go off and just kind of hang out, away from the cameras and stuff. Yeah, they want them to be on the beach, but the only AC there is in those little cabanas that are out there on the beach. So if they provide them a boom boom room, then I would hope that they provide them AC within that room too.
I hope so, because they cut to Dylan and Hannah and they're like underneath the blanket, like cuddling up to each other. I'm like, oh, they're probably so hot. Like,
yeah.
Like, oh goodness.
I wonder, since you know there's cameras in there and you know you're going to have sex, so you obviously you've obviously already made the decision that you don't care about having sex on camera. So does that mean that you would just go ahead and have sex outside of the sheets or under the sheets? Because like if there's AC in there, then I could understand at least being a little discreet and being under the sheets. But if there's no AC in there, if there's no AC in there, I'm sorry, but like whoever's going to be editing that is going to be seeing everything.
Oh my.
I'm not going to be under blankets close to somebody getting it on with no AC, dude, in Mexico. Yeah. I love your fan. Can I see your fan again?
They just have people just standing around with like fans. Like,
yeah, or big leaves, not fans, big leaves, waving them on them like Egypt.
Okay, well, and that I don't know.
but that's what the boom boom room is, I guess.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, on that note, we're just going to take a quick pause for some promos for some other Merc with a Movie blog podcasts that you can find on this feed.
Hey everybody, J Wade here to tell you about Afterlive, our unofficial Collider Live after show podcast that's like sitting in your living room on a Saturday night hanging with your friends. Sarah, Kaylin, Mike, and I talk about everything from Roxy being directionally challenged, Christian never having watched The Thing, Dorina's witchy ways, Makuga being scared of everything, to Yodi screaming that it's not a big fucking deal. Find us on Merc with a Movie blog on all your podcasting platforms, including Anchor. Talk to you then.
Hey there, Schmodown fans. This is Josh the Merc Rainer, and I am here to tell you about my show, Talkin' Schmodown. Whether it's Andrew Guy getting hit with a chair, John Roca screaming, outlaw, or the emotional retirement of the Shire Wolves, I talk about it all. So you can catch me right here on Anchor and all the other major podcasting platforms. So, as I ask every episode, are you ready to talk Schmodown? I am.
Okay, and we're back. So we had two new arrivals kind of together. Their date cards were connected, and we had a double date. And that was Luke S., the other Luke from Hannah's season that sent himself home. And then old Matt Donald, who went home on the first night. I love this guy. He went home on the first night. He came out of the limo. They showed the clip. He comes out of the limo and starts singing Old MacDonald.
Old MacDonald had a farm.
Oh my God. I loved him. I was like, oh my God. I would have picked, honestly, like, he would have been like top 2. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, just because of that, I would have been like, that's hilarious. Like, oh my gosh, he was so funny. He was like really nervous, and like the whole date and him like talking, like his voice keeps cracking every time he talks. It's so
always having to clear his throat.
It's like, sorry, I'm 17. Like, so funny. Like, it's totally like my type of humor, so I'm just like, oh my God, this guy is so funny. And all the girls are like, okay, take us out on a date, like, let's go. Like, and they both, Luke S. takes Christina, and then Matt decides to take Sydney, because I guess Sydney and Mike, that just kind of ended. Whatever.
Well, and, it was weird how it just, like you said, it just kind of ended.
Yeah, it was.
Like, there was no gradual build down. It was like they were hanging out, Matt showed up, it ended, they went on a date.
Yeah. She was just like, oh, yeah, it didn't really, like, work out with Mike. That was all.
Yeah.
Okay. And this date was kind of boring. They just drank like spicy margaritas or whatever. But the best part, which is really all I have to talk about with Matt, is he starts like teaching her sign language, which is really cute because he's like, both my parents are deaf, which, I mean, that like sucks, but like it's really cute that he's like teaching her sign language, and then teaches her the kiss me or kiss you, like out of nowhere, like not prompted. Like he brings that up, and then she starts doing it, and he's just staring at her.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you're the one who taught her how to say that, but you're not willing to go there, you know?
He just kept saying like, oh, what's my mom gonna think? I was like, oh,
what?
Oh, no, don't say that. Like, oh my gosh. So then, like, that whole, like, thing where he's, like, getting kissing advice, like, when they're back on the beach, like, he's getting kissing advice from everyone, and Sydney's like,
including Chris.
Oh my God.
Chris Harrison had to come out and give him the what for.
dying. I was like,
Yeah,
wow, they
dude,
even pulled Chris out.
Yeah, and Chris was like, without being rude, like being like, hey, dude, like, this is what you're here for. It's almost over. Either shit or get off the pot.
They were treating it like it was his first kiss, and I kind of feel like it was his first kiss.
Hey, do you think it was?
I don't know, because he was like, I don't kiss on the first date. And then when Sydney was like, do you kiss on the first date? He's like, yeah, it depends. Like, you just said you don't kiss on the first date. Like, what are you doing? And he, like, I understand where he's coming from. Like, maybe he's like more conservative. I don't know.
Right.
We don't really know much about him, but maybe he's more conservative. He was saying like he doesn't like to kiss on the first date. Like, I didn't like to kiss on the first date either. Like, that was really important to me. So like, I get that, but also like, this is a really quick process. Like,
wait a minute, you personally didn't like to kiss on the first date?
No. Is that
But
weird?
you got engaged 3 months after you met him?
It's a whole nother story.
I'm just kidding.
Point. I don't recommend it for everyone.
I'm just kidding.
But I mean, we did kiss on the first date, so maybe I'm just full of lies. I don't know.
Okay, Matt.
I'm just a hypocrite. But like, he's like talking to her, and Sydney's straight up just like, do you want to kiss me or not? Like, and then she's like, I give you permission, like, you can kiss me anytime you want. And he's like, can I kiss you right now?
Which I can relate to that. I was that guy that I would ask a girl if I could kiss her before I would kiss her. I can relate to that.
I think that's really sweet. I think like, if you're not sure if a girl is into you, like, maybe he just wasn't sure of Sydney, like, maybe he just wasn't picking up vibes. Like,
dude, she was telling him, kiss me.
Yes. So at that point, when he was like, you can kiss me, he should have said, can I kiss you right now? He should have just leaned in and kissed her.
Yes.
Right now? Like,
now, or would you like me to wait until after the rose ceremony?
Oh my god, it was so... And the best part was the, like, 3-minute montage that, like, followed it with, like, snow and the earth and the animals. And
oh my gosh.
The fireworks. Oh my god, it was so good. Like, they had on Colton's
great editing
Bachelor season that her whole thing was like, she's never been kissed, like, and Colton was her first kiss. We didn't get any of that. Like, we didn't get a montage like that. I'm so upset. Like,
yeah, this show is very, very funny with their editing. I like it
because they don't care.
Yeah, it's silly. It's great.
I love. There was one point, like, I love all the random cuts to like the animals too. Like,
whenever,
like, things are happening, is like all the animals, like the crab coming in and out of the sand. Like, oh my god, it's so funny. I love it so much. It's so good. And so, like, we have the rose ceremony, and Blake, like you mentioned, Blake decides that he is in love with Christina.
Yeah.
And that she's the one he's been looking for. Oh my god. He's like, I really want someone that's beautiful and sexy and intelligent, and like, naming all these things, and then
I'm like,
dude.
And
he's like, Christina. I was like,
I don't know why I didn't see it before. It's been in front of me the whole time.
And then he kept saying, we can do it right this time. Like, we can have a proper relationship. Or like, they said before that they dated before they came on the show, like a year ago. So, and now they're both saying that, like, oh, we can do it right. Like, it didn't really count the last time. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
yeah, I don't understand that either.
I don't know. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So, rose ceremony, everyone's all coupled up except poor Mike goes home.
As soon as he did not go home, the Mike for Bachelor hashtags were flying all over Twitter.
Yeah, but they already, like, unofficially announced the Bachelor. Like, rumors have come out who it is.
And it's not Mike?
And it's not Mike.
What?
And I'm really pissed off about it. Because at first, like, I ranted to my husband about it because I was, like, freaking out. And I was like, well, maybe it's because Mike, like, this, I found out, like, last week, I guess it came out. And I was, like, ranting, like, oh, like, maybe it's because Mike has a connection on the show and that's why I didn't get it. No, he doesn't have a connection. Like, he just went home. And now I'm even more pissed that they didn't pick him. Like, I'm really
Do they just maybe think he's a little, like, too normal? You know what I mean?
So, yeah, so, like, Christian was saying, like, back to the Collider Live, like, Christian was saying, like, maybe he just doesn't have good camera presence or maybe stuff like that. But, like, people didn't think Hannah was going to have good camera presence. She did great. People didn't think Colton was, like, bread. Like, he was, like, white bread, like, so boring. Right. And he was fine on his Bachelor. So, like, I think Mike has shown more charisma, definitely, than the person that they picked, which I'm super pissed off about, but it's fine, whatever. We'll talk about it when it comes out.
And for those who don't know, Christian Harloff, this guy we're talking about, he was actually a producer on season 2 of The Bachelor. So he's worked on the show before, and he sometimes gives some of his insight. He did a lot of that today too, which was cool.
Oh, okay. I definitely have to listen to it. Y'all should listen to it too. But I am just really upset that Mike went home because I feel like he is such a great guy, but at the other same time, I'm like, am I missing something? Like, he just seems to get, like, friend zoned by, like, all these girls. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe he just moves really slow. Maybe there's a lot of stuff that we're not seeing. Like, I automatically just jump to, like, it's because he's black. Like, but maybe, like, it'd be a great opportunity, but maybe there's just a lot more. Like, maybe he really can't carry the show, and maybe he just has a hard time getting out of the friend zone, or maybe he didn't want it. Like, there's just a lot of factors. But I'm still upset, so it's fine.
Me too.
Still a little hurt.
But oh well.
Maybe that doesn't mean that he won't be in the future. There's always a possibility. So we can always still hope.
Mike for Bachelor
at some point in life. So just kind of start wrapping stuff up. Blake and Christina apparently decide, I've already said it, but they decide to try and make this work, and a new arrival shows up. We have Bree.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 who's, like, beautiful, and she's, like,
she's cute.
She's a model. So she's a model, and at one point, like, she starts trying to talk to Blake, and Blake's like, "You're the one I was waiting for." And I'm like,
yeah, I know. What the hell? Here we go. The very next day after the vagina tail party, and here we go again.
I'm like, oh my God, like, he's going on a date, and, like, the whole time Christina's, like, flipping out and freaking out.
Oh yeah, and that Russian in her was coming out, man.
She was freaking out.
Don't want to mess with her.
Comes over and he's like, "No, I told her I wasn't interested." I was like, BS. Like, that whole time there, you were like, I was waiting for you. I knew it was going to be you. We had a great connection. Like, there was not once that he said anything about Christina. And all of a sudden he's like, "But I want it to be with you." And you can tell, like, she's just like, yeah, okay, like, we'll see where this goes. Like, I'm still not sure. Like, I would be skeptical too. Like, now all of a sudden you want to date me? Like, oh my goodness. But
I really like her, Christina. I really like her.
I really like Christina too. I think she's been through a lot. Like, she is really standing up for herself, and I think people are giving her a lot of crap, saying that she's, like, the villain and stuff right now. I think she's just not getting a great edit. I don't know. Like, I love her. Like, be a strong woman. Stand up for yourself. Like, don't let Blake do this to you. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Come on. Like, I think, like, it's fine for her to have walls up against him, because obviously. Obviously.
Yeah, but she lucked out here by Bree taking Matt out on that date. Because, I mean, I don't even know if she even really ask Blake and he turned her down, because they didn't show her ask him, but he said that he turned her down.
Yeah, he was like, she said, "No, it will be fun." Like, I think they just edited it to make it look like asked him out. But then, like, she asked Matt out, and it's just cutting back and forth between, like, Blake talking about Christina and how in love with Christina he is, to, like, their date, which I'm like, come on, give these people more time, but whatever. And I love Matt's like, she's beautiful, like, she looks like a model or something like that, and I'm like, she is a model. Like, that's literally her job. Like, she's a model. Like, and then they make out.
Yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me?
Did he ask her for permission to kiss her?
I don't know. He's like, I don't kiss on the first date unless it's a model. I was like, oh no, old Matt Donald. And then like I saw tonight, like Sydney tweeted something last night, I guess, and I saw it, and she said something like, oh, okay, you won't kiss me on the first date, but you'll kiss the other person on the first date.
Man.
I was like, oh no.
Oh, that's great.
Oh no. And I don't know if it surprised you, but Dean came back.
It did not surprise. Well, it actually did surprise me, to be honest. It did surprise me, but it was cool to see.
You asked me a little bit ago who my favorite male on the show was, and as a joke, but I'm going to answer it seriously now. Dean. Dean is my favorite. I just think he's so funny, and I don't know, like I respect him for being upfront with Kaylin when he broke up with her, and he like came back, and like everything he was saying to her, like it has been shown in the past with him like cutting off relationships. Like he's been through this process so many times. He's been on numerous of these shows, and every kind of time he kind of like sabotages himself a bit. So like for him to come back and be like you're what I want, you're what I've been thinking about, I don't know, I think that shows a lot of like respect and growth, because he basically said to her like, you don't want to be my girlfriend, you have to change my mind, like I'm not changing my mind. And then he came back, like,
you know, Jared, to go back to the Collider Live interview with Jared today,
because they're like best friends, right?
Yeah, and he talked about that too. He said that all right, Jared has a podcast. Ashley has one too, but Jared has one also. And he said that whenever they were filming the show, that when that happened, Dean went to Jared's and did a podcast with him the next day after he left Paradise. Oh, wow. And that he told Jared when he was there that he missed her and that he was talking to producers about going back.
Oh, wow.
And so because Christian had asked him, you know, was that for real? Like, did he really, did miss her and stuff? And Jared said, yeah, because they can't talk about what's happening now, but at least at that time, he really liked her and he missed her and he wanted to go back to talk to her and see her. So yeah, that was cool to get that little bit of confirmation from someone who knows him well that he really did miss her, and he really did, you know, and that he did go back for the right reasons. It wasn't some producer stunt or anything like that, no. You know.
Yeah, so. I didn't think it was like a stunt. Like I feel like if it was anyone else, I'd probably be like, this is just a stunt. It was planned from the beginning. But like, I feel like he broke up with her on her birthday. Like, you wouldn't plan that for a stunt.
Yeah,
like,
man, that was like, not cool.
And you can tell, she just really ticks me off, because like the whole time she's like, I'm so happy with Connor, like I'm so glad Dean's gone. Like, she's like, I can't, him in his stupid van, like I could not imagine living in a van. And then Dean comes back and he's like, can we talk? She's like, yeah. And just hopped off that bed. I was like,
and Connor's like, you know, like talking kind of talking like, you know, he ain't, you know, like, you know, whatever, he's a douchebag, I'm not worried about it. I can't remember who it was like, one of the girls was just like, have you ever met Dean? And Christina. He goes, no, yeah, oh, all right, yeah. She goes, do you know Dean? And he's like, no, and she just starts laughing, and it's like, wow. And then he had that look, and they're all talking right in front of him. He can hear them, and they're all like, oh, they're perfect for each other. Oh, they're so great, you know. And it's just like, poor Connor.
Demi said like, she said, yeah, I feel like Kaylin is projecting all of her feelings she had onto Connor, which is like, that's a pretty accurate. I mean, I'm not sure if that's exactly what she was doing, but like, I would have that concern if I was Connor and like all of a sudden like Kaylin was like heartbroken and all of a sudden she's like, oh, Connor, like I'd be like, I don't know, like I don't think I would have fallen quotation marks so fast for a girl that was like just crying about her ex the minute before I walked into the room. Like, I don't know. And then they were all saying like, oh, she's way more into Dean than she is Connor. I was like, oh. Oh my god.
You think she'll leave with Dean?
Yes. Absolutely.
I mean, I was kind of mixed. I will say I was kind of mixed about Dean's return because, I mean, on one hand,
I loved it. I was like, okay, Dean, come on in.
On one hand, I loved it because Dean came back, and then on the other hand, 80s porn is now gone because she shaved that stash. So
I'm a little mixed about it. I'm like,
Dean or 80s porn. Dean, 80s porn. It's a hard one, but I guess I'll go with Dean.
It's okay, Dean. Yeah, well, I guess we'll see next week. I'm just gonna say like she's gonna leave with him. And
I think so too.
And it's gonna be great. And
you think he shaved the stash specifically to give himself a better shot at her leaving with him?
Yeah, she hated that mustache. Like she said, like
she said that, but I mean, I don't know. Like, me personally, if a chick didn't like my mustache, I would be like, okay, I don't care what you think about it, you know? Yeah. But I mean, when he shaved it, I was like, did he shave it because he wanted to? He was just kind of sick of the style? No, or was he I have to give all of my A game to her right now, and that means shaving off the stash?
I think it was for her.
Yeah, hey man, that's a sweet gesture. Facial hair matters to guys. Not all guys, but a lot of guys. Facial hair means a lot.
And it seemed very clean and stuff too. So I mean, I'm sure he really cared about it, for him to shave it. Now, the most important question: do you think he will continue to live in the van if they end up together?
A part of me says that he's the kind of charismatic guy that she would totally just go for living in the van, at least for a little bit, and that she would go with it. Yeah, but ultimately, and it would not take very long, they would end up settling in an apartment or a condo or something like that, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, he could charm her into living in the van for a while, but eventually that charm's going to wear off compared to living in a van.
Yeah, I don't think that's Kaylin's style.
I don't think so either.
At all. His
best bet would be if they're traveling at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I mean, is what his van is for, but I'm saying, if they stop, if his plan is to park it and live in a van in the same spot for a week or more, then that's not going to fly. But if they're keeping on the move and they only park it in the same spot for 2 or 3 days at a time, that's a little bit different. But once they get to that week and a half, 2 weeks in the same spot, she's going to start no, I don't, I'm not down with this. I need a couch. I need a full kitchen. I need a bathroom,
Yeah, for real. A real shower that's not at a gym.
Yeah. Or a creek or a lake.
Oh, my God. That was so funny. The river. And as we wrap up, anything else that happened these 2 episodes? I think we covered...
Yeah, there was just one other thing I wanted to say that when Clay and Angela were talking, my exact note I wrote down was that it was a couple fighting. That's what it was to me. It was a couple in a fight. That's
no. You called me like that. It was such oh my God.
Yeah, because if you didn't know that they weren't together, you would think it was just a couple in a fight.
Yeah.
So that was the only other thing, was it just, and that's one of the main things I'm looking for is, I think Clay's going to end up, whether or not Clay and Angela get back together, I think he's going to end up screwing the pooch with Nicole. Whether he breaks it off with Nicole or he does something boneheaded to make her break it off with him, I don't think they're going to make it off Paradise and it's probably going to be Clay's fault.
They might. I could see them getting back together, like in the reunion. By the time like that comes out, I could see that happening. But
no. We will never, ever, ever get back together. No, they're never getting back together. I just dropped some Taylor Swift there for you guys. They are none of them. None of them. Clay and Angela not getting back together. Clay and Nicole. Well, no, I'm just saying both of them. Clay and Nicole, they're not going to last. And even if they do, they're not going to stay together. I don't see any of those three staying with each other in any combination. I think Clay's going to screw the pooch straight up.
Do you see? We talked about this last week, but do you see any of these couples now making it like in the real world?
I still think Christian and Demi are going to have a rough go of it. I think they're going to be. I'm more optimistic about them. Dean and Kaylin, I don't know. I don't know if I got faith enough in Dean.
I can't see them lasting long term just because they seem like two different people.
Yeah. Really, if Blake can get his shit together, then him and Christina could maybe do it. Because I don't know, man. It would depend on Blake getting his act together. Because Christina, there's something like she has stupid feelings for him. Like she likes him like in a stupid way, if that makes sense. Like it's like I don't know why, and I don't even think she knows why, but she likes Blake.
Yeah.
So that one is Blake's to mess up. I'm still waiting. We're running out of time, and I don't think it probably won't happen anymore. But I'm still kind of waiting for Hannah to screw over Dylan and try to get with Blake again or something like that. I hope not. I hope not. But I don't know. I really don't know. It just, man, none of these people seem like they're making really solid connections, and they're running out of time.
I don't know how long Hannah and Dylan will really last. That's my last thought of the episode. Just when she said, Hannah said so many like super basic white girl things in like one of these episodes. The first thing she said was something about like, I want to watch all of the sunsets with you, or like something like that. I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
And then like in last night's episode, she said, I can't wait to like go on walks. Go on walks with you and like be like really silly and crazy when we walk and like our joggers. I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
Wow.
And Dylan's like, yeah, we can wear like cut off sweats. And she's like, yeah, I love that. I'm like, oh my God, these are the most boring people I've ever met. I was like, oh.
Wow.
She was like, yeah, like when she said, I'll be in like California, and she said, and we can go on walks together. I'm just so excited. I was like, oh my God. Like, I don't know.
Wow.
Like, okay, honey. Like, okay.
Good luck, Hannah and Dylan.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck, Dylan.
Good luck, Dylan. And on that note, you can find this show and more at the Merc or the Movie Blog feed on Anchor, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, and Google Play. We also have our episodes on YouTube on the Merc with a Movie Blog channel. And where can they find you personally, J Wade?
Y'all can find me at the Twitter, or on the Twitter rather, at J Wade 1134. That is the letter J, WADE 1134.
And you can follow me on Twitter at SCBOK, so that's SSEABOK. Make sure you come back next week to listen to us talk about the possible finale. We're not sure. We'll figure it out. And we will see you then. Make sure you go and get that rose and have a great night, evening, day, whenever you're listening to this. Bye.